Well, this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. I'm Mike Kinney, your host. Do me a personal favor, like, subscribe, and share. Hit us up on YouTube, all the social media. Let all your friends know what's going on as we continue to explore all the great avenues of car culture and looking under the hood of what's going on, sometimes behind the scenes, a lot of times right in front of it. Today, we are really fortunate. I'm learning all kinds about Vicari auctions and cruising the coast. So we're going to be talking about the auction company today. And our guest is Pete Vicari. He started out when he's 14 years old. He bought his first hot rod as a 40 Ford Coupe. He's continued to grow over the years. His collection has expanded tremendously. And he's partnered back in the day with Cruise International Collector Car Auction. We've known Dean and the guys for a long time. And this year will be the 26th annual. The Vicari auction will be part of Cruising the Coast. Checking out my notes. Yeah, this is a big deal. And I like this quote. We work very hard to give our customers the personal care they deserve. What a great way to set it up. Before we bring him on, we've got a video here to run. Kind of give you insight of just what a whole bunch of people think about this guy. Hit that play button, Rick.
Welcome to Coast View, the show that every single day celebrates the men and women who are making coastal Mississippi such an amazing place to live, work, and play. Hey, we're live from Town Green today, celebrating Cruising the Coast, the show today. I'm thrilled, though, to have as my first guest my friend. I joked with him a second ago where we now live next door to each other. What was the chances that he and I would end up on live TV together for Super Talk here at Town Green? But my friend Pete Vicari, and he has Vicari Auctions. We're going to be talking more about that in just a second.
Sure.
But anyway, hey, you're going to have, there's a lot to talk about because right off the bat, Vicari Auctions has become a mainstay during Cruising the Coast. This year's is going to be a record show for you. And then on top of that, you're going to be live on CBS. So why don't we start with how's the show coming together for this year?
It's coming together great. We start this process 5 months before. We got girls that work and putting it all together, and it actually continues 2 months after to close out everything. So right now, we had all-time entries into the auction. We have like over 600 lots that's going to be sold.
It's great for enthusiasts, people who love cars. It's great for buyers. It's great for sellers. It's really good for the general public, isn't it, Pete?
It is, and it's over the 25, 30 years that we've been doing this. It's a family.
Yes.
We have built long-term relationship, friends, families all over the country.
What a great phrase, right? It's a family, and you're going to find out how sincere Pete is, what he and his team pull together. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining Car Stars and Roll Bars. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're hanging in. I tell you, the more you and I have chatted, the more I learn about Vicari Auction Company and what you guys do, it's amazing. And then you tied into Cruising for the Coast, so that's just got to be a fun week for you.
It's a lot of work. I'm gonna tell you. I get there 10 days before, and it's like 6 in the morning. I got to be there for morning shows with news channels, and I don't get out of there till like 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So it's fun, but it's work.
It's fun, but it's work. So the viewers have been watching this for all. You know the drill. We like to have some pictures, some videos. So let's just jump into some of these pictures, Pete, and I appreciate all the information you guys are able to pull together for me. So let's see what we got coming up. We got some pictures of the car. Now, that's about somewhere in the Tri-5 family, 55, 56?
That was a beautiful car. That's a 55.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet looking car, nice pictures as well. We got a few more examples, and so that's is that an early '60s Caddy?
It looks like a 56 maybe or 55.
Yep, got it. And again, you notice all the great lighting they have in their venues. We'll have pictures from the venues later on today in the show to give you an idea just how huge what Vicari Auction, how they go about business for Vicari Auctions. I like this Camaro with the drop top.
Yeah, the facilities, the convention center is over 100,000 square feet.
Wow.
Indoor air conditioned. And we fenced in an area right adjacent to it that we actually we have a lot of trailers and we have motorhomes. So all the big stuff will stay it's right fenced in, connected to the building. So that's another 30. So it's 130,000 square foot just for the auction.
Wow.
But then right outside by the Coliseum, which is right adjacent to the convention center,
Right.
is the largest swap meet. I mean, there's probably 800 dealers out there and vendors.
I love it. I think we got a few more pictures coming. And I like, you kind of go from one end of the spectrum to the other. I think that this is a replica from one of the Batman movies.
Yeah, the Tumbler.
Yes.
That was a vehicle we sold at Desertland in Orlando.
Wow.
The seller was kind of hesitant that we could even produce a sale.
Sure.
And we knocked it out the park.
Good for you.
We actually sold it for more than his reserve.
Beautiful. Well, and this is good. This is kind of reminiscent of the Dragula from the Munster TV series, right?
Yes, that's in Desertland. That was one we sold also.
I absolutely love it. You got to have a nice little 32 kind of basic, and right beside a good-looking wagon. So you all do quite the spectrum of cars, right?
Yeah, we do. We sell anything. I mean,
Beautiful.
quite honestly, we Wednesday of the sale is Hollywood memorabilia and
Right.
jewelry, because that's things for the ladies, and
Of
the
course.
ladies like it because all the guys come and the ladies have the stuff to deal with. But we saw a helicopter. We've had a helicopter come in there, and so
I love it. Oh, this is such. That's just sexy. It might be a Mopar. I'm not sure. I like the way they whacked it just a little bit and kind of made a modern-looking wagon feel.
Mike, that was a '46 Ford.
That's Ford. Got it.
That was actually my car.
Really?
It was a two-door coupe that it was built in Hawaii.
Wow.
And it was over the top. I mean,
That's
I bought
gorgeous.
it and I was just to cruise around, and I kept getting beat up by people wanting to buy it. And it's like, I said, you know what? And I'm going to put it on the auction block and the best guy wins,
Good for you, because you can always build another.
I didn't build it because, I tell people all the time, you make money when you buy the car. If you're going to build a car, you'll probably be upside down.
That's a good point. That's a very good
Yeah.
point. And I love this shot. That's almost got like the old, some of the story, I call them like voices, what Boyd Coddington would do. It's got that really nice smooth feel.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you and your viewers some inside information here, but I'm not gonna tell you everything. These Auburns are now being redesigned. Okay,
Really?
This is a late model Auburn.
Wow.
Well, the people that built them, the company was sold, and the new owners are redesigning it. And I'm telling you, it's one cool looking car.
Oh my goodness. So there is going to be a new Auburn in the future for buyers.
Yes.
Wow.
And the one that's being built right now, the prototype, we have a sheik that's willing to pay $1 million for it.
Beautiful.
Right now.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
it's unbelievable looking car.
Well, Pete and I've had the chance to talk, viewers, and I've been to Auburn, Indiana. I've been to the Auburn Museum. The building itself is on the National Historic Register of Buildings. And when you look at the Auburns back in that day, they didn't have all the modern technology, and the cars were beautiful. So it's hard for me to fathom how just incredible the new version of Auburn will be with all the capability and technology we have now, Pete. Wow.
Yes. I mean, that's where I cut my teeth into the collector car business, was in Auburn.
Yeah.
Because we were, and I was the young kid that hung around my two good friends that had the New Orleans sale. They were the sponsors for the Cruise International.
Yep.
And Dean was like a very close friend, and I'd go up there and work the ring for Auburn.
Beautiful. I've known Dean. I went to school with Tim because they're under a reproductioneering school, an amazing family. I think we got a few pictures there of what I call some collectibles. Anybody like me, you got to do something in your garage. So if you're looking for some really good art for your garage or your man cave, Pete, I think you can kind of take care of people.
Yeah, the auction this year is the 4th through the 7th of October.
Yep.
And the first day, like I said, is Hollywood memorabilia and collectibles. And then every day before we start cars, we'll have so many signs and neons and stuff like that
Beautiful.
for the, man caves.
Yeah, absolutely. And that original art, I just love it. The old signage just kind of takes you back to yesteryear, the way it was done.
Yeah, and this while you got that picture up,
Yeah.
our neon clock is kind of to the right of the screen.
Yeah.
We do not sell those. We auction those off for charity.
Oh, good for you.
So no one can buy one. You have it's all for charity.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
And when you have one, it's because you donated to, cancer or breast cancer awareness.
Perfect. What a great approach. And I love my old gas pumps. And so you got got some great examples right there, Pete.
Every year we have gas pumps, and we try to stick to only original stuff.
Good for you.
Every now and then we'll have a repo one, but
yeah,
and we really don't like it, but we'll sell it. But we try to turn people off about bringing repos.
Sure. Okay, folks. So you heard early on when we started, he's being interviewed. He's kind of like a local celebrity. I'll brag on him because Pete probably won't. So here's a little promo from our great friends at CBS on what they think of what goes on with Vicari Auction Company. Check out this clip right now.
Let's do it. Hands up, Dixie. Look at this car. At 35, we get $4 grand. At 35, we get $4. Reserves off. We get 45. I'm gonna let everybody play right here. Everybody can bid. He's in, you're out. 29,000. Here it goes. Here it goes. Sell another car.
What a great.
You surprising me with all this stuff. I didn't know you had all this.
Well, Sherry's helped me. Sherry Alphonse has helped me a lot, and I appreciate all the support from you guys. We're having a lot of fun with this stuff. So before we got more video, more pictures coming up. I always like to ask my guests, and Pete, I know it's going to be really difficult for you. To date, what's your favorite automotive memory?
My favorite automotive memory.
Yeah, you probably got one or two in your pocket, I bet.
Yeah, one is the 1956 Chrysler Plainsman that was built by Ghia for Chrysler.
Right.
It was a concept car.
Yeah.
And the Nostrum was on another ship, and the Plainsman was on a ship, a different one.
Right.
Well, that one that the ship went down had the Nostrum on it, and it's still down under the sea.
Oh my God.
Well, anyway, the Plainsman got in, and that's another big story in itself. But I bought it. It was in deplorable shape. Bought it in California.
Really?
And we spent about a year and a half, and we brought it back to life and restored it. And Amelia Island wanted us to unveil it there, and we did, and that was an exciting trip.
Oh yes.
And I have since sold the car, but in my lifetime, to get a concept car that was one of one, only one.
Very cool.
And we had to actually go into engineering and make some parts that were missing. So we had all the original pictures and video and stuff like that. You can Google it and see it. It was a concept that says "Go West" in the 1950s. It was actually a 56 Plainsman.
Yep.
But that car, I mean, it took a year and a half of my life, and that's what I remember about automotive. And then my Corvettes. I have a lot of pre-production prototype Corvettes.
And Pete's the king of segue. So we got a video coming up on some bets. Before we jump in there, we've got a few picture, Pete, from your collection. Let's see if we can pull some of those pictures up. So I think, is this your very first vet?
That's my first vet, and
There
I
we
have
go.
it today. Yeah. Yeah.
Good looking car. Now we got a video on this, so we won't tease them too much. But this is 3, and they all the sequentially numbered prototypes, right, buddy?
Yeah, pre-production prototypes,
Yep.
and they consecutive VIN numbers, 15, 16, and 17. I still have those cars also.
Beautiful. And I am in love with this Bugatti replica. Between that and I see some of the original work with the Delahaye's. This whole Art Deco feel. I drool every time I see this picture, brother.
Well, that car, my wife and I drove it in a great race cross country twice.
And we had Jeff on from the Great Race a few months ago, and you took it on the Great Race.
Yeah, I sponsored the Great Race for 3 years, and
Beautiful.
Jeff's a good guy. And,
Yes, he is.
I told him, I said, I had a 49 Buick I went in one year, and I said, I got the perfect car. Next year, I'm going to bring you a car that's going to wow you, the people that comes out. And that's the car I took. And they actually, that was built in California, and the guy built 3 of them. And one just sold at Monterey last weekend, one of the 3. And the builder was all excited because it brought over $200,000.
Wow. Yeah, it's well-deserved. That's a beautiful car. And I think we got a shot here. It's kind of like your version of a man cave. I'm digging all the wall art. I like the funny car up there. So you've been kind of creative in your own little man cave space here.
Yeah, my museum used to be 25,000 square feet. I had almost 80 cars at one time. And when I sold my collection to a very close friend of mine, I kept a lot of the prototypes, and I built this small building. This is when we first moved in, so there's a lot of stuff unorganized. It's not like that today. But the Candies and Used guys were a friend of mine. When they split up the body, and Paul Candies had his half, and I ended up getting it from him. That's why it's on the wall. And Mark Osborne was the driver.
Yep.
And you can see in here, if you look back next to the junior funny cars and the Drexers that are on the wall, just in front of a blue car, shade of blue.
Right.
That's Stonewood and Cook Corvette. When they got out of the Willis, Cook was very good friends with Steve Corney, who used to have the Goldfinger, and they rebodied it, and they came out with Stonewood and Cook Corvette.
Wow. I love all the history. Okay, viewers, I pride myself, I'm kind of in tune with stuff going on, and over the years, I have never learned as much as I have at talking with Pete and get an insight of what's going on. Check out this video about the prototypes, and he happens to have not 1, not 2, but 3 of them. Hey, Rick, hit that play button, buddy.
Question: what's more rare than one of only 23 pre-production 63 Corvette prototypes? A red convertible with fuel injection. What's more rare? How about 3 of them with sequentially numbered VIN? What is known is that only about 24 pre-production 63 Corvettes were built. It should be noted that during early development of the 63, the terms pre-production and pilot line were frequently interchanged with prototype.
With the prototype rapidly reaching its completion and evaluation date, skilled assemblers work round the clock to meet predetermined build schedules. Soon, the prototype interior is completed.
The 63 prototypes were tweaked while sharing the line with the last 62 models being produced. In this photo, while workmen paint the body of a 63 prototype, the double exposed headlights of a 62 Corvette can clearly be seen on the production line in the background. Only a handful of those first pre-production cars are known to exist today. Virtually all were convertibles. And a breathtaking trio of them, all restored to pristine condition, and all well optioned with fuel injection and more. Can be found in Louisiana under single ownership.
These 3 cars that I have are considered prototypes, and they're built totally different than a production car. All the body panels are built on a mahogany wood buck, where it would be either a male or female, depending on what the panel is, whether it's an inner fender or the outer fender. And they were built with hand-laid fiberglass. So these cars are considered prototype, pre-production.
Wow. I've watched that video clip so many times, Pete, and just my hat is off to you, brother. That is just amazing to have 3 of those sequential VINs. You're one lucky guy, sir.
I've been blessed. Yeah. I've been blessed. I have a great family, a great business, and I definitely been blessed with trying to get those together. And I used to own the very first T-top Corvette.
Really?
But the very close friend of mine, who has since passed away, he wanted the first T-top car that I had. So I sold it to him.
Good,
you know.
good for you. Always be able to take care of some friends. We got some pictures coming up of venues, and for the viewers, some of the smaller auction houses, well, they might use like a 3-car garage, and they got a few cars to try to roll through. Pete and his team, they do things a little different. I love this shot just for the viewers. It gives you an idea as how big this place is before they're open for business.
Yeah, and the VIP, they're not finished setting up. So to the right where the red carpet is right here, there's another stage that goes there for the VIP stage.
Beautiful.
Seating.
I love it. So here we are in full-blown process. You got some nice little tables up front for some of the bidders, and got a comfortable place, a great view with a huge monitor up top, and obviously you got great ringmen helping you.
Yeah, we all have world champion ring people. Our auctioneers have won, ring guys have won.
Beautiful.
And they all very personable people. We, like I said many times before, this is a family. We either going to do it right or we're not going to do it at all.
Good for you, man.
And I'm somewhere. I'm always on the floor helping.
Yes, you are.
With anybody that needs anything.
Very good. I like that approach. You remain engaged and help working everybody as a team together. I think we got a couple more clips. So when you have an opportunity and you go to some car shows, you might see this big giant pop-up and you get an opportunity to learn more about what you guys are doing, right?
Yeah, we sponsor a lot of local shows.
Beautiful.
Because a lot of those clubs and all, it's a show that's benefiting something. Like 2 weeks ago, there was a benefit of a child that had cancer.
Good for you, brother.
we took on the major sponsorship of that and helped them.
Perfect.
But we do a lot for the community.
Excellent. And that just says so much about who you guys are as an organization. And again, it's so great to have Pete on the show because he does all these great segues. And you're talking about a family and treating better as a team. I think we got a few pictures of your team. Like in this case, they're kind of getting ready to take care of business. This would be probably part of the group you would meet when you first arrive on property, right, Pete?
Yeah, and they're all family. I'm going to start to my right. That's my cousin in the white T-shirt.
Yeah.
Then you got my wife, and then you got my cousin's husband, and then you got my youngest son. So we're all family there.
So it is literally a family affair. I think we got a few more so you can get some shout-outs too.
That's on the right is my cousin, and on the left is one of my secretaries. He's one of my angels. I have 3 girls in my office, and I call them angels.
Good for you, brother.
Yeah. That's our 2 ring guys. Our auctioneers.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And that is me with one of our workers. It was her birthday, and we gave her flowers.
I love it. And it's those, and I don't want to sound too corny, but it's the old adage. It's those little touches that make all the difference in the world, right? Because obviously you care about your people, but when in this case, hey, I'm going to make sure she gets some flowers on her birthday. That's kind of cool.
Well, you know, and I'll be honest with you, my wife, I wouldn't be where I'm at without her. Okay,
Hear, hear.
because
Me
she,
too.
you know, the old saying, "There's a good woman behind a good guy."
You got that right.
And that's my wife. But what she does is she keeps a diary of people's birthdays. So
Oh,
it
cool.
helps me when I wake up in the morning. She tells me, like today, one of my best friend's birthday was today.
Perfect.
So I had to text him, "Happy birthday, old man," you know. And so.
Well, you're probably
Anyway.
like me because Mary Elizabeth, she puts up with me, sir, and we've been together over 30 years. I'm married up. I mean, she's an amazing,
Yeah, right.
she is an amazing person, and she puts up with this every day. Now, we're going to check on a couple of posts, and we got another video clip coming up. I love posts that your company's putting up there, a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, and we have some fun with them. And so I think this was almost like one's going to be at the flats, and I think this is like in the 30s, and the thing weighed like 3 or 4 tons, I believe.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I found that one. I went, wow, that's just kind of extra cool. I think we got
Right, yeah.
And certain ones, you got to poke fun at life. The longer you look, the worse it gets, right? So we're not right? We're not sure where this owner was going, but, you know, maybe he's still on a journey, sir. We're not sure.
You know, the saying is correct because when I first seen it, I got drawn to the front.
Yeah.
And I said, "What the hell is that?" And then I realized the back is a look at the back. Oh my God!
It's a car. You know? So,
Yeah.
So, like, well, you know, I'm not sure where the vision's going, but, you know, maybe someday that person will get there. I'm just.
He had a lot of free time on his hand.
A
That's
lot
all
of
I could say.
reason. And I got to make this into a poster. Right? People just don't understand. It's more than a car. It's a lifestyle, a release, and a passion. Just
That nails it. That nails it.
Nails it dead bang, boss. Because, you know, I've talked to our different guests, and we have Superbird 2.0 in the garage, 426 Hemi, 2.4 4-speed console. And every time when I walk in the garage, I see it and I go, yeah. So I think the majority of people in the Western Hemisphere, maybe around the world, that are remotely into hot rods and cool collectibles, there's the car that you go, yeah. Right? So that's part of that passion, that enjoyment, that release you talked about. And it's for people that come to your auction, they get that same experience, right?
You know, the passion I have, I still have one car I want to find.
Ooh, what's that?
I have 2 older sisters, so when I was young, their boyfriends really had some bad cars. I mean, really bad. And one of them was a 65 Belvedere 426 4-speed Hemi car, lightweight. And I mean, that was an amazing car. Yes. And that car had made an impression on me when I was 9, 10 years old. I have pictures of it, and but I don't have the VIN number. And I've been passing the pictures around to see, has anybody seen this car?
Have you seen this car? And those eras for the muscle car, those were a bullet anyway. Okay, we got another video here we're going to share. And one of the things fascinates me with what Pete and his company does, because don't get me wrong, there's huge auction houses out there, and they do a great job in their own right. But Pete's got this great approach to it. And check out this video, how they intentionally set aside time to help raise funds for an amazing charity. Hey, Rick, hit that one, buddy.
So the Copelands, within a decade's period of time, were able to fulfill the promise they made to their father.
The Al Copeland Foundation could not stop there. We created the Al Copeland Foundation LSU Health and Science Cancer Partnership Network. We'll focus on education about these clinical trials, easy access to these clinical trials, and provide preventive and screening programs to help save lives and end cancer.
With the help of the Al Copeland Foundation, we've been able to save lives.
We made a promise that we found a cure for the cancer that he had. And we did just that.
All right, here we go. How much, guys? So if you want to give me some money to go.
Now 45, 5,000, 55, 6,000, 65, 7,000, 75, 8,000, 8,000. Got her 85. Got 4 bidders. 85, 80,000, 85, 90. Here we go. 90. Now 95. At 90 to get 95,000. At 90 to get 95. At 90 to get 90. It's brand new. 90 to get 95,000. At 90 to get 95. 5, 5, 5. Thank you. Bam. Sold it $100,000. Bidder number 10829 for $100,000. Thank you.
Wow. And I think on that one you raised over, you approached, I think, $250,000, Pete. That's just, my compliments to you guys. That's amazing.
Well, I could not have done it without, and I call them family members, which is all our bidders. Okay.
You bet.
The bidders, you know, they open their hearts and their checkbooks because, you know, a lot of our bidders knew Al Copeland because we're from all South, and
Sure.
and I knew Al Copeland Sr. for years, and Al Jr. and I said, man, Al, he made a promise to his dad that he would find a cure, and I said, Junior, I don't know, you know, people have been trying to find a cure for cancer for years, and he put his head down and he went to work. And got LSU involved, and we started raising money for him. And today he found a cure for cancer.
Got it. Cure
And
for
then
that.
we've had patients that had cancer. They come to our sale, and it's been 5 years. They're cancer free.
God bless. I think we got a slide coming up on people, how they can learn more about your amazing auction coming up. You can step us through that contact information, Pete?
Yes, it's VicariAuction.com. It's 504-264-2277, and 2277 is cars, C-A-R-S.
Nice.
Or you can go on go to our website and it'll
You
connect you to everything at VicariAuction.com.
Excellent. Well, Pete, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. I know we got to run each other down the road, so to speak, and you never can tell. We may end up bringing our Superbird to cruising the coast one of these years.
You need to come to Cruising the Coast, and I'm coming to Vegas. Do you know Jim Shoe? Do you know Jim Shoe?
Yes, I do.
Owns the Hellfire.
Yes, I've actually interviewed Jim before during NHRA at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Cool guy.
Guess where the car came from?
No. Really?
I owned the car, and we were communicating over the years, and he finally said, I'm coming to New Orleans. I want to buy my car back. So he came in, and we cut a deal, and he brought it back to Vegas.
Yeah, it's now it's become a little bit exhibition vehicle in the pits. They'll fire it up on occasion.
He's going to have it in SEMA this year.
Oh, cool. All right, my friend, we'll be talking to you soon. And in the meantime, enjoy a great auction, and we're going to see you down the road. Bye-bye for now.
Take care.
Okay. That concludes this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. Do me a big favor. Head us up on YouTube, all the social media channels. Subscribe, like, and share. And you got to check out everything going on with Vicari Auction Company. You're going to have a good time, and they're going to treat you like family. And until next time, enjoy the ride.